What's going on, guys? This is Sanchez, art director and content creator, and in this video I'm gonna show you a couple of strategies on how to pose for photographs. So if you have some issues working with your clients, models, and your photographs are looking kind of stiff, these tips are gonna help you out. The short answer to this problem, and this is the strategy that I apply when I'm working with clients, is stop posing. The reality is that when you ask a person to stay in a certain position, they're gonna feel super uncomfortable and stiff, especially if they don't have experience in front of camera. That being said, if posing doesn't work, then what do you do next? This is my strategy number one when I work with clients, is I keep them busy, I keep them moving. So basically they are not posing. And now I'm gonna share with you a couple of tips that you can apply in your next photo shoot and just level up your photography game. So one of the first things that I do is I ask my client to go for a walk. I pick a specific location where I feel that I'm gonna get really good pictures, like as far as lighting, as far as the landscape around me. So once I find the good location, I ask my model or my client to walk towards me and I start shooting the pictures. This is like my favorite way to get like really casual, kind of lifestyle pictures without asking them to kind of exaggerate or kind of fake a pose. And it has that really, casual vibe to it. The next thing you can try is I ask them to start kind of playing around with their clothes. If they are wearing a jacket, kind of fix their jacket. If they're wearing a scarf, kind of fix their scarf. If they're wearing sunglasses, I don't know, take out the sunglasses, put them on. There was this video on the internet that got really viral that a guy actually pointed out that The Rock had always the same pose on all the pictures. Is that he was always looking at his sleeve, fixing his sleeve. I'm guilty that that's one of my go-to poses when I'm kind of wearing a suit or a blazer. When I'm wearing a blazer, I do the fixing sleeve strategy, and it looks cool every time. So that's why I do it, and I ask my clients to do the same thing. Sometimes when I find a pose that I like, I ask them to repeat that movement again, so I can have a couple of options once I go back in post-production. The next thing that I like to do is playing with props. Props could be anything that help you with the storytelling. Like, for example, if you're working with an entrepreneur or a businessman, you can ask them to kind of fake a phone call and just pretend that they're talking to someone, and you get some really cool, interesting pictures. And basically you're still not asking them to pose, you're just keeping them busy. So props could be anything, and you can even look at your surroundings. If you find like stairs or if you have a wall next to you, you can make your clients lean into the wall, kind of play around with the stairs going up and down. Your location is gonna be your number one prop. That's a good way to approach this, is kind of find objects to keep them busy. So if you're curious to know what kind of cameras and lenses I use for my videos and photography work, I'm gonna leave the links below, and you can take a look at all the things that I recommend. These are affiliate links, meaning that if you make a purchase, I get a small commission. And this really helps me to keep releasing all this awesome content for you guys. So one of the things that I don't like when I'm shooting is when people are looking at the camera. I kind of like taking pictures like more casually, that they're interacting with the surroundings or actually interacting with another person, because it feels more natural. Depending on the situation, it's okay if they're looking to your camera, but you can make some really interesting pictures when they're just looking around. So that's like my next tip. Ask them to look around, look at the horizon, look up, look down, and actually looking down is one of my favorite poses. It just gives a different vibe to your picture when they're kind of wandering around. So what about if you want to get a photograph when they are smiling straight to the camera? Here is my strategy. When I have to do that, I actually ask them to smile to the camera and then look down, kind of to give them a space to relax, and then going back to posing. because as I said, if you ask them to force a smile, it looks terrible. So you want to kind of talk to them and ask them to smile and then take a break. So smile, take a break, smile, take a break. And that way you get a more spontaneous and a more real photograph without forcing things too much. The last thing that I'd like to say is that I enjoy working with performers. That's like my number one thing as a photographer. I like to capture motion. This is where I got this insight that has been helping me throughout my career, because when you're working with a performer, they're constantly moving, they're doing their thing. I mentioned this in my past videos, is that my job as a photographer is basically create a space for my performer or my model to be comfortable being in front of camera. I just share with them some ideas and then I let them do their thing. So that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoy these tips. Please hit the like button because it really helps for other people to find this video and take advantage of all these tips. If you have any questions for me, please leave a comment below, or also if you have any other tips, please share it with us in the comments. If you're new to this channel and you want to stay updated with my content, please don't forget to subscribe. This is PH Daniel Sanchez and I'll see you next time.